Hey, this is Pastor Jimmy from Woodbine Church. Our church is going through a book entitled Christmas Pilgrims, A Journey to See Jesus, written by Michael McElroy. This book is an excellent resource for families to use for their devotions between November the 26th and December 25th. You will not regret being a part of these devotions and reading them for yourself. Welcome to our devotion for November the 29th. In those days, a decree went out from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be registered. That's a verse from Luke chapter 2, verse 1. The soldiers' body armor clanked as they walked into the market square at the center of the village. Their helmets and shields reflected the sun as they waited for the gathering crowd. They wore their battle gear, not because they were threatened by a bunch of peasants, but as a subtle reminder of Rome's authority over her subjects. Palestine was a remote outpost on the vast empire, and there was no glory associated with their present assignment. On this tour of the dusty towns of Galilee, they were couriers, messenger boys. The ranking soldier reached into his leather pack and pulled out the scroll. He untied the thin leather strap and secured the scroll, and allowed it to unroll with much dramatic flair. Just as he had done in the last miserable village, just as he would do in the next one, he cleared his throat and read the decree. By the decree of the Excellency Caesar Augustus, all subjects of Rome will be registered. A murmur rippled through the villagers. They knew that the census was for one purpose, to establish tax rolls. This imperial messenger continued, "Most excellent Quirinius, your benevolent governor orders all Jewish subjects to report to their ancestral hometowns for registration." The murmur grew into a hubbub as the words of the decree were spoken. Life was hard. How could they pay any more taxes? Travel was dangerous and difficult. How could they be expected to make this trip? A few of the more devout citizens said a silent prayer to God to send Messiah soon to rescue them from the oppressors. Mary was returning from the market stalls with food for the day when she heard the announcement. Her progressive pregnancy made walking the more difficult. Now, just a few months from the baby's arrival, came word that she and Joseph had to travel 90 miles to Judea, to Bethlehem, for the tax census. Her neighbors were complaining, and she understood their frustration. She held the food basket in one hand and instinctively cradled her growing belly with the other arm as she felt the baby moving inside her. But she had a quiet smile on her face as she realized how God was going to get her to the place where Michael had predicted hundreds of years before that her baby would be born. Pilgrim, can you think of a way that God might be at work in some unpleasant circumstance you're facing right now? Can you trust that He is working in it even if you can't see how? Ask God to give you a faith like Mary had. Thank you so much for joining us for our Christmas Pilgrims, A Journey to See Jesus devotional. If you'd like your own personal copy, you can get a copy at Amazon.com and just type in Christmas Pilgrims and type in the author's name, Michael McElroy. We hope you have a very blessed Christmas season, and thank you for joining us as we journey to see Jesus.